Yes, it is. Absolutely. You will notice, when you do leaf smot, that you'll do more of, but you always will do it on a rest-active cycle. You just notice it, just naturally do it more on a rest-active cycle. So you just naturally will do this more by resting and having some, and then resting and having some. It's just going to naturally happen. This is called an alliesthetic sense. This is actually a sense that we have which we're able to tell inside if the chemicals in that is something we need or not. But this sense only works for leaf smot. It's not going to work on a bag of Doritos or something, or whatever, because that stuff's all been designed to trick senses. Could we imagine just for a moment that we're this family, we've just gathered around at the end of the day and we've collected a few things and that sort of thing, Imagine just for a moment that we were close to some volcanic activity and there was bit of hot lava and stuff. But we'd learned how to make a fire, and we were keeping ourselves warm a bit. We had this fire here, and we were just sitting, and we collected some yams and things, but not much, because we really didn't need much. But all we had was some yams, and maybe one or two other things, and that's it, And you've had yams. You've been eating yams. And that's all, what we have is yams. And so yams are being served, but you don't feel like any yam. The taste for that, you don't feel like you have a taste for it. So you don't maybe have anything much at all. Our body is designed for food to be suspended. You cannot eat all the time. This is crazy. Jesus. It's too much. It's like, everybody goes on the camping trip, and Charlie's carrying the fridge, God help us. No. We're not really designed to be carrying all these bottles around, running with a bottle, It's like no one did that. We're more like monkeys, and the monkeys generally don't really drink anything. They don't drink anything at all. So we're much more primates, of course, than anything else. And the primate's digestive tract is a frugivore, and there's not anything much about us that's herbivorous much. But we can have some leaves, but we're not herbivores. You can't eat grasses, get everything. No. You have to have a much, much, much longer stomach, and perhaps an intestinal tract, and maybe another stomach. And we're not we're certainly not granivores or cedivores much. They have an extra stomach before this stomach, and that's called a croc. And that seed sprouts inside the croc. It goes through an enzymatic process before it enters into the stomach. And then birds who eat foods like that, their digestive tract, half their diet is life colloid material. It's like clays and things. That's half their diet. And they have to do that to help manage all the oils and everything from the poisonous oils and stuff from the seed.
With so many raw food people, they say that you have to eat a lot of greens and salad and greens yes. All the time.
That's right, that's not leaf smot though. So there's all kinds of teaching out there, but what we're talking about is leaf smot. That's all. See, so many things out there which is not defined whatsoever, but we're talking about leaf smot coming from our digestive tract and the anatomy, and it's called somatotyping in English. It's the study of how our digestive tract formed as a result of the impact of its environment. For a bird, for a reptile, for a bee, an ant.
How do you do that in New York?
You could go into nature and you could just observe ants. And we could just learn everything you need. You could just study one species and you could really learn so much, you know, because it's like, if you're like me, I'm just going to find a heart in one person, that's it. I know everybody has a heart. You know, no use going around looking everywhere to, you know, say, hey, we need to have a, you know, no. But the ant learns how to stroke, you know, aphids. They're sort of going to find an aphid, hey, hey! It strokes the aphid and the aphid goes, you know, and produces a milk, which is like a sugar for the ant. So there's a lot of that sort of stuff going on in here with your own intestinal flora, which produces a milk that feeds the absorptive cells. But we're more frugivores. Questions? Oh, what's your name, by the way?
Stian.
Stian?
Stian.
Oh, good on Stian. Okay.
What's your take on coffee enemas?
Coffee enemas. Well, in a flush, you know, it can be very, very, very useful because you've got a sphincter of body that's very dilute. It's extremely dilute, but it'll act on the sphincter of body to relax the sphincter of body here, so bile can be dumped. Yeah, so it can be useful.
But is it as great as Charles person claims it to be when it comes to liver detox?
Yeah, so, yeah. If you could imagine, you know, we have a big kitchen table and it's like full of dishwashing liquid and stuff. And the only thing you have to clean it is a kitchen sponge. It's a big block of a kitchen sponge. That's it. That's the only tool. And that's your liver. Imagine that this kitchen sponge is sopping wet. It's sopping wet. How can anything flow in there if your sponge is sopping wet? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Most people's liver, their liver is like a kitchen sponge that's sopping wet, and a plastic bag around it, so it can't mop anything up. That's all the bile occlusion. So everything that causes bile to flow, causes the liver to empty itself, causes things to flow in there, for detoxification.